I hired a private investigator to catch my wife cheating. He fell for her and helped her hide it. Let me take you back about a year ago. Back when I still believed that the worst kind of betrayal came from the person you slept beside every night. Back when I thought the only knife in my back belonged to my wife. I had no idea the person holding the second blade would be the one I paid to protect me from the first. My name's Marcus. I'm 34. I work in digital marketing, and I thought I had a stable, ordinary life. 2-car garage, grill in the backyard, Sunday brunch with my in-laws, and a wife, Daniela, who I thought was loyal to the core. We'd been married 5 years. We'd had rough patches like anyone else, but I never thought she'd cheat. Until the signs started adding up. She started dressing differently for work, more polished, more effort than usual. She'd smile at texts and tuck her phone away like it was a crime scene. She'd stay late at the office more and more, and when I offered to pick her up or bring dinner, she always had an excuse, and the worst part, I wanted to believe her. I gaslit myself. I started keeping a journal of every weird behavior. Maybe it was paranoia, or maybe I needed proof for my own sanity. Eventually, the evidence became too stacked to ignore. That's when I decided to hire a private investigator, someone who could confirm what my gut was screaming, someone with no emotional bias, someone professional. His name was Evan Price, tall, sharp, ex-cop turned pie with a salt and pepper buzzcut and eyes that looked like they could x-ray through walls. He came highly recommended by a friend of a friend. He was discreet, efficient, and confident. I handed Evan the details, my wife's routine, her work address, the days she was working late. I told him I needed the truth, just the truth. Turns out, the truth had its own agenda. Evan started surveillance the next week. I was a wreck every night, waiting for updates. After 4 days, he called me with the first development. She met someone at a cafe yesterday, he said flatly. Not work-related. I tailed them. They were intimate. My chest caved in. I asked for photos. He said he'd have them ready in 2 days. I asked who the guy was. Evan said he couldn't get a clean shot of his face but promised he'd get everything I needed soon. 2 days passed, then 3, then a week. When I called, he didn't answer. When he finally texted, it was vague. Still gathering intel, need more time, complex situation. It didn't sit right with me. I pushed him harder. I even offered to pay more. He assured me it was sensitive and that I had to be patient. Meanwhile, Daniela got bolder. She started coming home late with makeup smudged, her phone locked with a password she'd never used before. Once, she came back in a dress I'd never seen, reeking of cologne that wasn't mine. When I confronted her, she told me I was acting insecure. I should have fired Evan then, but I was too deep in denial, still hoping for irrefutable proof. Eventually, Evan sent me a few blurry photos. Daniela sitting across from someone in a car, kissing him on the cheek, but the images were vague, faces turned, shadows blocking details. Who is he? I asked. I'm working on it, Evan said. She's careful, smarter than most. Then he said something that stuck. You sure you want to know everything? Some people regret getting the whole truth. That was the first red flag, but I ignored it. Because I needed to know. Everything blew up 2 months later. One night, Daniela was asleep, and I snuck her phone from under her pillow. She'd changed her password, but I'd watched her unlock it enough times to memorize the pattern. I opened her messages. There was a hidden folder, one of those off-the-shelf vault apps disguised as a calculator. Inside, dozens of photos, screenshots, videos. Some of them were of me. Pictures of me at the gym, at work, on a Zoom call, taken from odd angles. Then came the texts between her and Evan Price. My blood ran cold. They were having an affair, Or at least something, flirty texts, her thanking him for covering for her, him calling her beautiful chaos. She'd known he was the pie I hired. She must have caught on early, and instead of cutting him off, she seduced him. And Evan, he fell for her. I kept scrolling through their messages, finding bits where he told her what he told me, that he was stalling Marcus, that he was sending decoys and fake evidence. He was on her side the whole time. The man I paid to uncover the truth was helping my wife bury it. I confronted her that night. She didn't even deny it, just looked at me like she pitied me. "You brought him into our lives," she said. "You opened the door." I went nuclear. I contacted a lawyer the next day. I started documenting everything: texts, photos, messages. I confronted Evan, left him a voicemail so angry I thought I might get arrested for the threats I made. He never responded. Daniela moved out a week later. She told her friends and family that I was emotionally abusive and paranoid. She painted herself the victim. Classic move. I filed for divorce. She tried to stall the proceedings, claimed the evidence was fabricated. Evan, of course, disappeared off the grid. Probably went back into hiding or operating under a different name. But the damage was done. My marriage was over, my trust in people shattered. And I'd paid thousands of dollars for the privilege. I found out later from a mutual acquaintance that Evan had been known to get close to some of his female surveillance targets. Nothing concrete, just rumors, but now I knew the truth. He wasn't a pie, he was a predator with a badge. I spiraled for a while: therapy, drinking, isolation. But pain has a funny way of turning into fuel. I started a blog anonymously, writing about betrayal, about infidelity, about the systems people use to manipulate others, and it gained traction. Emails from people with similar stories poured in. Turns out, betrayal is a damn universal language. It's been a year. The divorce was finalized 6 months ago. Daniela got almost nothing. I had a great lawyer. I exposed her lies, showed the court every message, every photo. Evan, he vanished. The last known address he used was a P.O. box. The license he had expired. He wasn't even certified anymore. I sometimes wonder if they're still together. My guess, probably not. People built on lies tend to implode fast. I've rebuilt my life. Moved to a new place, new city, new people. I've learned not to ignore my gut anymore. And I've learned the hard way that betrayal doesn't always come from the person you sleep beside. It can come from the person you hire to help you see clearly. I've also stopped looking for closure. It's a myth. Some stories don't end with a bow, some end with scars. But scars mean healing, they mean survival. And I survived. If you've made it this far, thank you, seriously. Stories like mine aren't easy to tell. They feel embarrassing, humiliating, like you were the fool who couldn't see what was happening in your own house. But if I learned anything, it's this: you're never stupid for trusting someone. The shame isn't yours, it belongs to the people who abuse that trust. If you've ever been cheated on, lied to, manipulated, know that you're not alone, you're not weak, and you can get through it. I started telling my story because I needed to release the weight, but I keep sharing it because I know others need to hear it, even if it's just to feel a little less crazy. So if this story hit home for you, do me a favor. Like this video. It tells the algorithm this story mattered, that these conversations are important. Drop a comment below. Have you ever been betrayed like this? Do you know someone who has? Let's talk about it. This is a safe space. And hit that subscribe button. I'm just getting started sharing these stories, real, raw, and often unbelievable, but true. Your support keeps me going, and who knows, the next story might just be yours. Until then, take care of your heart. And trust but verify. Always.